In recent years, two farm women have quietly built massive online followings from rural America. Laura Farms and Meredith Bernard turned daily farm life into powerful digital brands, gaining millions of views across platforms. But behind the cameras, their paths, struggles, and success look very different. One focuses on modern agriculture, the other on tradition and family life. So, who is truly more successful? Stay until the end, because the answer is more complex than it first appears. In the early 2020s, a shift began in how the world viewed rural life. Social media platforms like YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram were no longer just spaces for entertainment or viral trends. They became windows into worlds many people had never seen. Farming, once considered quiet and private, suddenly captured the curiosity of millions. The sounds of tractors, the rhythm of planting and harvesting, and the quiet moments of family life became compelling stories for audiences across the globe. Laura Farms first rose to prominence in Nebraska, a state known for its expansive cornfields and wheat plains. Her content featured large-scale farming operations, from the roar of combine harvesters to the meticulous planning of crop rotations. She shared the seasonal cycles, the unpredictable weather, and the technical challenges of modern agriculture. Her videos gave viewers a front-row seat to a world that was simultaneously familiar and extraordinary. For city viewers, watching a 400-acre farm come alive each season was mesmerizing. For aspiring farmers, it was educational. Her focus was always on the machinery, efficiency, and scale, showing that farming was more than just tradition. It was a complex, modern industry. Meanwhile, Meredith Bernard was telling a very different story in North Carolina. Her farm was smaller, but her content carried a unique emotional resonance. She highlighted the rhythms of daily life, feeding animals, tending gardens, cooking fresh meals, and guiding children through their routines. Her farm showcased traditional values, where every chore, from milking cows to baking bread, was connected to family and community. Viewers were drawn not just to the visuals of rural life, but to the warmth and relatability of her storytelling. Every video felt personal, like stepping into someone's home rather than observing a production. Although both women entered the same digital space at around the same time, their approaches diverged sharply. Laura Farms spoke to curiosity and admiration for modern farming techniques. Meredith Bernard spoke to empathy and connection, creating a sense of comfort and familiarity. Both strategies proved effective, attracting large followings. Reports suggested that Laura's videos often appealed to agricultural enthusiasts and tech-minded audiences, while Meredith's content reached viewers seeking lifestyle inspiration and emotional connection. The rise of these two creators also reflects a broader trend in social media: niche authenticity. Audiences were hungry for genuine insight into worlds far from their own, and farm life, long overlooked, became a new frontier. Both women filled this gap, but in unique ways. Their early success was shaped not only by content quality, but also by timing, consistency, and an understanding of what audiences craved, a real glimpse into a life that was simultaneously hard, beautiful, and relatable. However, what may seem similar on the surface, two women making videos about farm life, is only part of the story. Their backgrounds, their upbringing, and the way they experienced rural life profoundly shaped the paths they would take. These roots would influence the kinds of content they created, the audiences they attracted, and the struggles they would face as their platforms grew. But the real difference begins long before the cameras were ever turned on. To understand Laura Farms and Meredith Bernard, we must first look at where they came from. Laura grew up immersed in large-scale farming in Nebraska. From a young age, she learned to handle tractors, monitor irrigation systems, and manage planting schedules. Her childhood was defined by fields stretching to the horizon, the smell of freshly turned soil, and the constant rhythm of the seasons. These early experiences gave her a deep understanding of modern agriculture and the business side of farming, knowledge that would later shape her content. Meredith Bernard's upbringing in North Carolina was different. Her family operated a smaller farm that focused more on self-sufficiency than production. Daily life included tending animals, maintaining gardens, and performing household chores alongside farm work. From an early age, Meredith was involved in raising children, helping with meals, and preserving family traditions. Her experience emphasized community, care, and the slower pace of life on a family-centered farm. This background gave her a unique perspective, one that resonated emotionally with viewers seeking authenticity and connection. These contrasting roots influenced the way both women approached social media. Laura's content was precise and technical. She could explain crop rotations, show how tractors were calibrated, and discuss the impact of weather on yield. Her videos reflected efficiency, scale, and expertise. Meredith's content focused on relationships, routines, and lifestyle. She shared morning chores with her children, weekend gatherings, and simple pleasures like canning vegetables or baking bread. Her videos were intimate, relatable, and grounded in family life. Historical context shows that American farming has long split into two major paths, industrial and family-centered. Laura represents the industrial side, where efficiency, output, and technology define success. Meredith represents the traditional side, where sustainability, family, and community take priority. Both paths have deep roots in U.S. agricultural history, and both have adapted to modern media. This chapter also highlights the emotional connection each woman has with her work. For Laura, farming is a craft, a career, and a challenge to master. For Meredith, farming is life, legacy, and family responsibility. Their roots explain why they resonate with different audiences. One draws admiration for expertise, the other draws empathy for lived experience. Yet, a background alone does not explain the rapid rise both women experienced once they entered the digital space. That would come only after cameras, algorithms, and an engaged audience entered the equation. Because once they stepped onto social media, everything changed in ways no one expected. Once Laura Farms and Meredith Bernard entered social media, their worlds began to expand in unexpected ways. The early 2020s were a perfect storm for creators like them. Short-form video platforms such as TikTok exploded, while YouTube's recommendation algorithms favored consistent, niche content. Both women recognized the opportunity and began posting videos regularly, each following her own style and strategy. Laura Farms focused on large-scale operations. Videos showed tractors rolling across vast fields, combines harvesting wheat, and the detailed work of crop planning. She filmed planting seasons, the challenges of unpredictable weather, and the moments when machinery broke down or crops faced disease. Each video was a mix of education and spectacle. Viewers from urban areas were fascinated by the scale of her operations. Farmers and enthusiasts appreciated her technical knowledge. Industry sources noted that her content brought a modern, almost cinematic view of farming to an audience that rarely experienced it firsthand. Her following grew steadily, with viewers returning for both knowledge and admiration of her efficiency and expertise. Meredith Bernard took a different approach. Her videos emphasized daily life, routines, and emotional connection. She documented morning chores, feeding animals, cooking, homeschooling her children, and the simple pleasures of farm life. Every post reflected care, attention, and relatability. Fans often commented on how her content reminded them of family, tradition, or simpler times. While not focused on large-scale production, her videos resonated with lifestyle enthusiasts and viewers craving human connection in digital spaces. Many observers noted that her audience valued authenticity above all, and Meredith's ability to show her life without filters created a loyal following. Monetization became another layer of growth for both women. Laura Farms partnered with agricultural brands, showcased machinery sponsorships, and eventually created a small line of farm-related merchandise. Meredith Bernard worked with lifestyle brands, promoted home and family products, and engaged in community-centered campaigns. Their income streams grew alongside their audiences, proving that rural content could be both profitable and influential. Yet, while both women found success online, their paths reflected different definitions of achievement. Laura's empire was built on scale, production, and education, while Meredith's relied on emotional resonance and relatability. Their strategies showed that social media success is multifaceted. Numbers matter, but connection and influence are equally important. The rapid growth also brought unexpected challenges. Algorithm changes, audience expectations, and the constant need to produce content added pressure. For Laura, the stress came from maintaining large-scale operations while keeping content fresh and accurate. For Meredith, sharing personal life online meant balancing authenticity with privacy and protecting her family from public scrutiny. These challenges were just the beginning. But as their platforms grew, so did the pressure, and not all success comes without challenges. With millions of eyes watching, life on the farm was no longer private. For Laura Farms and Meredith Bernard, social media success brought visibility, but also constant scrutiny. Farming itself is a demanding job, filled with unpredictable weather, financial risks, and endless hours in the field. Adding cameras and public expectation turned ordinary challenges into public spectacles. Laura faced unique pressures. Her large-scale operations were admired, but also questioned. Viewers debated her farming methods, criticized machinery choices, and sometimes doubted the authenticity of her work. Each video carried the weight of expectation. One misstep, a delayed harvest, or a machinery breakdown, could spark online debate. Maintaining accuracy, efficiency, and entertainment value became a delicate balancing act. She had to ensure her content reflected reality, while still appealing to a global audience. The pressure was relentless, even for someone with years of farming experience. Meredith Bernard faced different challenges. Her life was deeply personal, and her content exposed her family and daily routines to public judgment. Sharing intimate moments, from children learning chores to family gatherings, meant she constantly negotiated the line between authenticity and privacy. Comments from viewers could praise her lifestyle one day and question her parenting the next. Protecting her family while staying true to her brand required careful planning and emotional resilience. Emotional labor became part of content creation, and Meredith had to navigate stress in ways her audience rarely saw. Both women also dealt with the mental toll of being constantly on. Industry research indicates that influencer burnout is common. Daily filming, editing, responding to messages, and maintaining relevance can create emotional exhaustion. On top of this, the unpredictable nature of farm work added real-world stress. A broken tractor or an unexpected storm had consequences beyond social media. It affected income, timelines, and sometimes even safety. Despite the pressures, both women continued to grow their platforms. The tension between public perception and private reality became a defining aspect of their success. Laura's perseverance showed mastery over both farm and camera, while Meredith's resilience highlighted emotional strength and authenticity. Their journeys demonstrate that influence is not only measured by views or followers, but also by the ability to navigate the challenges that come with exposure. But despite these challenges, both women continue to grow, raising a deeper question about what success truly means. As Laura Farms and Meredith Bernard continued to grow, a bigger question emerged: what does success truly mean in the world of digital farming? For many viewers, success is measured by followers, likes, or revenue. But for these two women, the answer was more complex, shaped by influence, personal fulfillment, and the impact they had on their audiences. Laura Farm's success is evident in scale. Her large Nebraska farm operations draw millions of views. She educates audiences about modern agriculture, crop management, and machinery operations. Many viewers credit her for showing the realities of modern farming, bridging the gap between rural life and urban curiosity. Brand deals, sponsor machinery content, and merchandise reflect her growing influence in the industry. Her reach extends beyond entertainment. She shapes how people perceive agriculture, creating awareness and inspiring a new generation of farm enthusiasts. Laura's form of success is professional, measurable, and outward-facing. Meredith Bernard's achievements, however, are measured differently. Her influence lies in emotional connection. She invites viewers into her home, her routines, and her family life. Her audience feels personal attachment, drawn to her authenticity and relatability. Meredith inspires people to embrace simpler, family-focused lifestyles and values. For many, her content provides comfort, guidance, and a sense of community. Her impact is subtle, less about numbers and more about influence on hearts and minds. Success for Meredith is intimate, emotional, and deeply personal. Both women illustrate that success in the digital age is not one-dimensional. Laura shows the power of scale and education. Meredith demonstrates the value of connection and emotional resonance. Their paths challenge traditional definitions of achievement, proving that influence and fulfillment are not always aligned with statistics. Industry observers have noted that social media allows creators to define success on their own terms, and both women exemplify this shift. Ultimately, viewers are left to decide which type of success resonates most. Is it the technical mastery and visibility of Laura Farms, or the intimate, heartfelt storytelling of Meredith Bernard? Both women represent achievement in the same space, yet in entirely different ways. Their stories reveal that the meaning of success is subjective and that influence can take many forms: educational, emotional, or a blend of both. In the end, numbers alone cannot capture the full story. Both women have created something lasting, but how their achievements are measured depends on the values of those watching. Because the real answer depends on what success truly means to each viewer watching. Laura Farms and Meredith Bernard have both transformed farm life into compelling stories that reach millions. One represents scale and modern agriculture, the other connection and tradition. Their journeys show that success can be measured in many ways, by influence, fulfillment, or the hearts they touch. If you enjoyed this story, consider subscribing to the channel for more fascinating real-life journeys.